Good day everybody. In today's class we will learn about two important functions, and these two important functions are of vital requirement, I should say, in the area of securities, specifically in string encoding and string decoding. So those functions are CHR and ORD. And what does these functions do? Now let me just write that down here. CHR function takes in an integer Unicode and converts, or I should say, and displays the associated string or character. Let me just state it as character. So this is exactly what CHR function does. So it takes in the integer Unicode and displays the character associated with the integer Unicode. Now what exactly does ORD does? ORD function does the reverse of CHR. So what does that mean? It means whatever the CHR function does, the ORD function reverses the action. Now you will just see that by means of an example. I'm going to give you two beautiful illustrations which will help you to understand what exactly I'm talking. Now let me print the character associated with the integer 90. So I'm saving it. I'm going to print this. You see, capital Z is displayed. Now let me use 89. Now just make the following observation. It displays Y. Okay, now let me display or use 91 and then run it. So it says square parenthesis. Now let me change it to 92. Save it and run it. Now you see slash. Now what is the observation you are making here? Now after 90, I utilized a 90 which gives me capital C. Then I utilized 91. It gave me square parenthesis. Now you would have expected that 91 would have given you a lowercase z, but no. So it is imperative to understand here that the characters are arranged not in a sequential fashion. When I say sequential fashion, I mean after capital Z, a normal person would expect a lowercase z to come in, but lowercase z is not featuring there. Instead of lowercase z, we are seeing a square parenthesis. Now after square parenthesis, we would, in fact it was a left square parenthesis. After left square parenthesis, we would have thought a right square parenthesis would show, but no, we are actually seeing a slash here. So that is why the ORD function comes to our rescue. Now if someone wants to know the integer Unicode associated with lowercase z, what he has to do? Simply just print and then ORD, open the parenthesis, within quotes you send in z and then you save it, you run it. You see that 122. Now where is 90 and where is 122? You see that? Now this feature, what makes these two functions versatile in the area of encoding and decoding text. And also not only that, we can use them in cryptography. So these two functions can be used in string encoding, decoding, cryptography. Now what is cryptography? Cryptography is the area of string encryption, and this is of very vital importance when it comes to securing data over the network. So I'm not going to go into the security part, but I'm emphasizing the importance of these two powerful functions. So you can just go ahead and give, say, print. I want to know the character associated, or I should say, let me pass this integer 9321, right? I want to know the character is associated with 9321. So I save it, I run it. So what do I get? It says, okay, we did not comment this. We should have commented this. Okay, so I commented this, I saved it, and I run it. You see that? That is a symbol. Can you imagine that? That is the symbol that we are getting. Now, if in case you were to place a 0 there, right, there is an error there. You see that? So you can't do that. If you were to place a 0 there, you would have thought in your mind that you would be getting a character associated with 0321, but it doesn't work like that. You see that we're getting an exception. So we can't do that. But instead of that, if I were to give an integer quantity, of course 0 can be claimed to be an integer, but the way in which the character codes, the integer Unicode is set isn't like that. So that is the takeaway point that we need to know here. So if I were to run this, so clearly I'm getting a symbol there. So that's perfectly acceptable, right? But 0 is acceptable anyway here. So I can just simply delete this and place a 0 there. That's perfectly acceptable. There wouldn't be an issue in that case. See, there is a character that is displayed there. So for every integer Unicode, there is an associated character that is displayed. And that is the take-home point when it comes to CHR. And subsequently, for every character that you can think of, there is an associated integer Unicode that is displayed or that is printed. Say for example, I'm going to, so there is a mapping there, so have that in mind. The take-home point is that all-important mapping between the string integer Unicode and the characters, right? So if I were to send in, say for example, percentage, and I save it and I run it, I'm getting 37. So I hope this clarifies your question, and until we meet in the next section, have a nice day.